we're back for more daily NBA predictions here on May 12th. Two game number 4s from Madison Square Garden and from the Chase Center. Knicks, Celtics, New York up 2-1. Timberwolves, Warriors, Minnesota up 2-1. Again, we know we're playing game 4s. Who will be taking a lead or who will be up 3-1, or will this series be tied? Again, we'll figure things out today. But before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets here on the channel. Hate to say it, but I told you so again on the Pacers. Blowout in game number 4. I still think it's probably Pacers in 6, I think. But I do have hope they can straight out just win in game 5. I think that's just such a momentum shifting game in game 4. It was never competitive, and potentially with the Donovan Mitchell injury, there's a chance Indiana just gets it done in 5. Again, my original prediction was 6, but maybe they will do it in 5 now. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder, defense wins championships. I still think they have to be the favorite to win the entire thing. But guys, get ready for a Thunder Pacers NBA Finals. I'd be so hyped, man. Like, I'd be so pumped for that series. Yeah, Shai's good, though. Shai's really good. I know you look at the stats. Oh, he only scored 25 points. Those were a hard 25 points. He's the best player in the NBA, and I can get really excited for a Pacers-Thunder Finals. Again, we still have a lot of basketball to play, but it does feel like the Thunder, again, tied 2-2, but they got that win. They're going to be really tough to get out of here by Denver, and I just don't think Minnesota is going to get them either, or the Warriors for that sake. We'll get into all that later. Also, folks, make sure to go check out our MLB Best Bets. Those are posted earlier today on the channel and on Greedo Plays MMA this week. We have our UFC Fight Night Burns versus Morales full card predictions. Go check out that video that's linked in the description down below and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA while you're at it as well. Okay, on to the first of our 2 games today. Celtics and Knicks from Madison Square Garden. I will ever so slightly go Knicks spread here against Boston. I don't love it, though. My favorite play is in the second game of the day. I'm not going to lie to you. It's with Warriors Timberwolves. Ever so slightly, I'll go with the Knicks on the spread. Guys, these games can go one of 2 ways, I think, with Boston and New York. And honestly, I can see a world where if New York just plays this close, they're going to find a way to win in the end. So these are the 2 ways I think this game is going to go. 3. And honestly, probably the only 3 ways this game can go. Boston blowout, and it's really not competitive like game 3, and the series just completely shifts back into Boston's favor. They win game 4, they blow out the Knicks, and they eventually just win the series in, 6 games, we're being honest, probably. Or the Knicks keep it really close, try to make their comeback at the very end, and Boston kind of holds them off. Or 3, the Knicks just outright win, but it's obviously a close game. Now, I know I've pretty much detailed every single scenario except for a Knicks blowout victory, but our duty is to figure out which one of those happen. I think most likely to me, it's Knicks trail most of the game. They actually make the comeback in game 4 like they did not do in game 3, but Boston actually holds them off this time. I think. I don't know. Again, this game's just so tough for me to pick because Boston's playing really well. Well, they played really well in game 3, and you compare that final score and the final outcome of game number 3 compared to 1 and 2, and it's like, all right, well, if Boston just didn't play historically bad in the first 2 games of the series, then they'd probably be at least up 2-1 right now. And, they played historically bad earlier in the series, and the Knicks could only beat them by 2 points, or they could only beat them in overtime. I do get that. It's a very fair point. I just think the Knicks played really horribly in game 3 as well, though, right? And they just did not live up to that home crowd, the most expensive NBA playoff game of all time in the second round, and the Knicks just laid a goose egg. It was bad. They shoot 20% from the 3-point line. Cat goes 1 for 5. Bridges 0 for 2. Adenubi 0 for 2. Josh Hart 0 for 3. Jalen Brunson went 3 for 8. But they just couldn't hit a big shot in that game. And really, they just fell behind right away, and they could never make that big push to get back in the basketball game. Jalen Brunson with 27 points, that's great. But again, they just were not producing in the way that they were in Boston, and they could not make that comeback again like they did at the TD Garden. And the Celtics played much better. That first quarter was a statement. And again, there was always the thought in the back of my head, and I'm sure that a lot of people thought this as well, what if Boston chokes again? right? Because the first quarter ends, Boston's up 16 points. It's 36-20, and they, dominate the second quarter as well for the most part. They're going into halftime up 26, and once we did go into half, I was thinking, okay, like 25 points, 26 points, that's probably too much for the Knicks to overcome. But at the end of the first quarter, I was thinking, okay, well, the Knicks really aren't out of this game because I feel like Boston's got to go cold eventually from three. But they didn't, and this is, again, the Joe Mazzulla philosophy and the whole mindset around how the Boston Celtics play, taking as many threes as possible. Sure, they're going to have games like games 1 and 2 in Boston where they don't really shoot the ball that well, where they are ice cold. And still in those games, they were very competitive final score-wise against New York, right, where the Knicks had to make 2 historically great comebacks. But when the Celtics are on, this is going to, go right into Mazzulla's hands. This is why he likes his team playing this way. You take that many three-pointers, obviously threes are better than twos, and eventually your shots are going to fall. Sure, you're going to have games like games 1 and 2 where you don't hit your shots, but at the same time, the Celtics feel like they're going to have more games like game 3 than they did in the games in Boston, and that's how they're going to continue to win. That's how they think they're going to go back-to-back this year in terms of winning world championships. Now, again, I feel like Boston probably still has to be the favorite up the East right now. No, I'm going to say it's Indiana. Indiana's still my favorite in the Eastern Conference over Boston 100%. Guys, you look at the way the Pacers played yesterday. Nobody's beating that team in the East right now. And sure, Game 4 Indiana might be seriously one of the best games we've ever watched in the postseason. That team would not miss a shot in the second quarter. It was ridiculous, the stuff they were hitting. Miles Turner was going crazy. Tyrese was hitting shots. Aaron Nesmith with the fader to close the half. I mean, my goodness, the way the Pacers played in Game 4 was phenomenal. It's not going to be replicated. I'm serious. I hope it is by them, but we'll see, right? I still feel like the Pacers, to me, are my favorites to win the Eastern Conference. However, Boston continues to play the way they did in Game 3, right? And this is the whole Mazzulla thing. They feel like they're in a great spot to go back-to-back. Just look at the three-point numbers. Jason Tatum finally has a good game in this playoffs. 5 for 9 from the three-point line. We've been waiting on a game like that for the anomaly/green gooner, again, this entire playoffs. Al Horford's the starting center now because Kristaps Porzingis is obviously still dealing with, various issues. Horford plays 35 minutes, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. So Unk's got it going. Drew Holiday, he's there for his defense, but still, Holiday goes 2 for 3 from the three-point line. Derek White, not taking the amount of shots, the volume of shots that he was taking in the regular season, but White goes 3 for 6 from the three-point line. Jaylen Brown, not a great game, 2 for 6 from the three-point line. But again, that's better than the numbers they were putting up in Boston. I mean, some of these guys are going like 1 for 11, 0 for 10 over in Massachusetts. And now everyone's hitting their shots. And we have to talk about Peyton Pritchard as well. Pritchard plays 35 minutes off the bench. He is their number 1 bench guy. Pritchard goes 8 for 16 shooting on the game, but 5 for 10 from the three-point line, 23 points total. He is the leading scorer for Boston in that game. No, it's not Tatum. It's not Jaylen Brown. It is Peyton Pritchard. Again, when they shoot like that, they're scary. They just are. They are a scary bunch. The question for Boston is, though, right, you're still down 2-1. You're in the same position the Cavs were in yesterday. You win Game 3. You do it pretty dominantly. Can you put back-to-back good games on the road here and go back home tied? Obviously, the Cavs weren't able to do that. Can the Celtics do it? Ultimately, I'm going to say yes, but I think the game's extremely close. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks win. Again, I would not play Celtics money line today. Because, again, you look at the odds, obviously, for it, just doesn't make sense. And I don't think it's anything close to a sure thing. Boston is minus 250 on the money line today. Again, don't play it. If you're going to play anything from this game, I'd go Knicks plus 6.5. I think they're going to play a very competitive game. I don't know if they're going to have enough juice to win the game outright. But, again, I suggest just don't play anything from this game today. If you want a 4 o'clock-ish bet tomorrow to make, go watch our MLB Best Bets, our first moneyline pick of the day. I really like it. It's a great spot. That's my favorite play for the MLB today. So go check that video out if you want to play, again, for earlier in the day. I wouldn't bet this game. Again, we do predictions for every single game. I have literally predicted every single NBA game this season, dating back to opening night, where the Lakers play the Timberwolves and the Celtics play the Knicks. So again, it was literally this game. So I've done every single game this year. So again, I'm not telling you to straight up bet on this one. But I do think, again, competitive game the Knicks stay in it. I think New York plays a much better game than they did in Game 3. I think they realize, okay, we're in a spot. If we can win today, we're most likely going to win the series, right? But if we lose, we go back to Boston 2-2. Sure, we're guaranteed another game here at MSG, but we lost both of our games here. So I think the Knicks are going to be very motivated to play a very good game today. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Mitchell Robinson's playable. I'm just going to keep it a bean. Yes, he's a great defender. The fans really like him. I like how ESPN tweeted out, it's bigger than basketball, when Mitchell Robinson, it's not like, again, you would think that, he was a Make-A-Wish kid or he had some illness. No, Mitchell Robinson just can't make free throws. So ESPN tweets is bigger than basketball. Again, respect to the guy, but this guy's a multi-millionaire who just can't hit a free throw. I'd love to be a multi-millionaire, and my biggest concern in life was hitting a free throw, okay? And I don't even mean that to hate on Mitchell Robinson at all. I'm hating on ESPN is what I'm doing, okay? What was that tweet? Somebody explain. Anyways, I don't think Mitchell Robinson's all that playable. Yes, he's a great defender. Guys, he is an automatic 0 for 2 at the free throw line. So as soon as Boston gets in the bonus, or as soon as as the Knicks get in the bonus, or as soon as Mitchell Robinson catches the ball, immediate hack. Because why wouldn't you? He's not going to hit his free throws. 4 for 12 from the free throw line in Game 3. I just don't think he's playable. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yes, he's a plus defender. You can't play a guy who's not going to make a free throw, and you're basically burning possessions. I don't know. As soon as Boston starts hacking him, I'd take him out. I would take him out right away. Taking the Celtics to win today, but I think the Knicks do cover the spread. Very interested to see where this game goes, though. I would expect Boston to continue to play like they did in Game 3, but we'll see. And I expect again, though, at the same time, yes, I think the Celtics are going to be like they did in their last game, but I would assume the Knicks step up to the plate as well at the same time. So it should make for a fun game. Knicks spread, Celtics money line. But I wouldn't bet it personally. If you want a game to bet for the NBA today, I would go here and I'd bet on the Timberwolves spread. I think they blow out Golden State tonight, guys. Game 3 was competitive. My main takeaway from Warriors Timberwolves, and I think this is a very clear takeaway as well, I think it's a takeaway that a lot of people are getting, is that Nuggets Thunder is going to determine who goes to the NBA Finals. I think so. Even, yes, I know that, Denver lost to Minnesota last year in the postseason. I get it. Ant had that great Game 7. I still though don't think the Timberwolves beat Denver this season. Just the way the Nuggets are playing, just don't see it. But it is what it is. You got to play these games, and that's why I was just so mad the Lakers couldn't beat Minnesota, because the Lakers would have been in the conference finals likely against OKC. Would they have won that series? No, not at all. But still, would have the shot. Anyways, I expect Minnesota to blow Golden State out tonight. I think so. I don't think Steph Curry is going to play again this season. Not because, I don't think he's going to be healthy enough. Well, I just don't think the Warriors are going to get to the Game 6 where they need to get Curry back. Ultimately, I think the Timberwolves are going to win tonight. I think they close it out on Wednesday as well. I think they win Game 5. The Timberwolves have not played well. So this is going back to my point earlier about, I think Denver wins easily, and I think OKC sweeps. I think Denver, Minnesota would be like 6, potentially 7. The Nuggets would have home court, so I'd say like Nuggets and 7, maybe 6. I don't think it's going to be Denver, I'm going to be honest, because again, it's a 3-game set now, and OKC gets 2 out of 3 at home now, so OKC should probably win in 7 or 6. Probably 6 if we're being honest, but we'll see. I think OKC's a 10.5 point favorite tomorrow. That's crazy. The Timberwolves, though, they haven't played that well. Like, Ant's playing all right. Efficiency-wise, hasn't been the best, but Ant's doing his thing. I'll give Ant a lot of credit. Struggling a little bit at the free throw line, oddly enough. But Ant had 36 points in Game 3. He was good. The rest of the lineup's just been bad. Julius Randle was decent. Not really hitting the three-point ball, but it is what it is. Like, Randle's, again, filling the stat sheet, doing his thing. Gobert hasn't just been he's been all right. Jaden McDaniels just been... Actually, no, McDaniels was good in Game 3, but... Conley's obviously a non-factor. Naz Reid hit his 3-pointers in Game 3, but prior to that hasn't been all that good. DiVincenzo was really a non-factor in Game 3, didn't play big minutes. Same with Naz as well. Right? I don't know. I feel like the Timberwolves aren't playing all that well, and at the same time, if you're this competitive with this Warriors team, what the hell's going to happen to you next round? It's not their fault they're playing the Warriors, by the way, without Steph. And I think, again, I'll be honest, if Steph was playing, the Warriors would have won this series. I think so. I think the Warriors probably would have won in 6 or 7. Now I think they're losing in 5, maybe 6. And again, we've said this before, like, all right, they get Curry back. What does that change? Let's just be honest. What does this change if Steph Curry's back in the lineup? He's injured. He's got the hamstring injury. Steph Curry's game revolves around being quick, being agile, and being able to run the floor. He's not going to be that. He can provide you great corner shooting or great perimeter shooting, but he's not going to be able to be that guy. He's not going to be able to be Steph Curry. Right? That's just my thing about that. Anyways, though, without Steph Curry, the Warriors are screwed. Jimmy played a good Game 3. Probably his best game of the postseason, I'm going to be honest with you. The rest of the team didn't really show up other than Kuminga, the cum bucket. I mean, what happens when Steve Kerr plays the cum bucket? He shows up, right? Kuminga over 36 minutes, 11 for 18 from the field, 3 for 4 from the three-point line, 30 points. Great game for Jonathan Kuminga. Buddy Hield regression, we knew that was going to happen. I mean, the Buddy Hield 30, 40-point outbursts against Houston was just something that only happens to the Rockets, and we knew that was not sustainable and something that the Warriors could count on. Oh, by the way, they can't count on Draymond Green three-pointers, and that's been blatantly obvious. I mean, again, Draymond Green played a god-awful game number 3. I told you in game 1, him hitting those three-pointers in game 1 was the worst thing that could happen for Golden State. Sure, it propelled them to victory in that one, yes. But at the same time, now Draymond thinks he just has it like that. And the Warriors, instead of, again, I use this whole analogy, instead of the Warriors just treating that as, okay, this is great to have, we're glad we get these Draymond threes. Now it's, all right, we need Draymond to hit these threes. Because now these are points that we're kind of just banking and relying on. When you're relying on Draymond Green three-pointers, you're not in a good spot. And Draymond played a horrible game number 3. Turned the ball over a million times, eventually fouled out. Did not play the game all that well. Obviously, he had to make sure, though, those Warriors reserves at the end of the game knew that the spread was 5.5, so they could hit a three-pointer and cover the spread. You tell me athletes don't bet on games. It is what it is. And I'm not even trying to go at Draymond here. I mean, he just wanted a spread to hit, so good for him, right? But Draymond has not been good since game 1. Yes, he's a great defender, obviously, but I'm not sold right now. Podziemski's been so bad, guys. He just has. I think they're going to start Kuminga. I know they've been bringing him off the bench, but Kuminga's, I think he's their second best guy, I'm going to be honest right now, behind Jimmy. So they started Trace Jackson Davis in game number 3. I'd expect, again, Kuminga just to slide into the starting lineup at the 4. I guess TGD is technically a 5. But it is what it is, right? Draymond just played the 5. Kuminga is going to play the 4. Kevon Looney obviously getting those bench minutes. Gary Payton will get bench minutes as well. Moses Moody's kind of just been squeezed out the rotation at this point with Kuminga coming back in it. But again, Steve Kerr rotations, it is what it is. Podziemski's been horrible. There's no other way about it. He wasn't very good at the tail end of the Houston series. Wasn't good in the games Houston was winning. Wasn't really that great in game 7 either, if you remember. He went 1 for 10 in game number 3. 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He played 39 minutes. He scored 5 points, right? He played a cardio game, did Podziemski. The Pythagorean theorem was not very good in that one. He's a non-factor on the court at all times. And again, it takes us back to the Warriors just don't find ways to score outside of Jimmy Butler and I guess Jonathan Kuminga. But again, Kuminga had a really good game 3. Can Jonathan Kuminga consistently do that, though, is the question. And I don't think they can rely on that. They just don't have reliable scorers at this point. Buddy Hield, yes, he looked good in those Houston games. But again, can you rely on Buddy Hield to consistently give you 30 points? Oh, hell no. Buddy Hield's not going to continue to hit 10 three-pointers a game. Jimmy Butler played a good game 3, but I'll argue Jimmy Butler hasn't been that great this postseason. And when you're relying on, 36, 37-year-old Jimmy Butler to carry you to the postseason, this isn't prime Jimmy or Miami Jimmy anymore. It's not. It's just a different Jimmy Butler. He's older. He's dealing with the injury he suffered in the Houston series. Still, obviously, that's nagging a little bit. He's just not the same guy. Sure, he played a great game 3, but you can't rely on Jimmy Butler to put the backpack on every single game and carry you to the promised land. Draymond's a non-factor. Podziemski's a non-factor. I just don't think they beat the Timberwolves, and we still have not seen a good Minnesota team yet. The Timberwolves have not played well since game number 4 of the first round against the Los Angeles Lakers. Game 5, they were god-awful, but the Lakers were just worse. Game 1, they were horrible against the Warriors. They couldn't hit anything. I mean, game 2... they played all right. They played a good game, but playing an injured Warriors squad, probably game 2 is the best game the Timberwolves have played all series. And then game 3, they win. Again, they win the clutch minutes, right? They come back in the fourth quarter. They get the victory. Anthony Edwards plays a masterful fourth quarter. I'll give him so much credit. But man, I feel like the Timberwolves should not be close with this team. They should not be needing to come from behind to beat Golden State in the clutch moments. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Warriors here. It's just I expect more out of Minnesota, if I'm being honest. Yes, they pulled away at the end of the game. It's a 5-point game in the end, but I mean, it was really not that close. Minnesota was up by 10 at one point or 8 at one point late in the game, right? They were obviously the winners of that game, and they pulled away in that 4-minute left range. But I just don't even think they should be needing to make comebacks against this team. And that's why ultimately, right, I don't think Minnesota stands a chance in the next round. But it is dangerous for the Warriors right now that, okay, Minnesota really hasn't even gotten going yet. They're not shooting the ball that well. Yes, Ant's playing well, but you expect that out of Minnesota. The rest of the team has not really come through yet. Julius Randle can't find the three ball right now. I know that's a playoff Julius Randle thing. DiVincenzo is not good, has not been that great this series so far, right? McDaniels has been playing well, and Rudy hasn't really not been that much of a factor yet, as much as he can be, obviously, like he was in the Lakers series. But I think the Timberwolves are going to be fine. Eventually, they're going to break through. Curry's not back yet. They're really not. I'll be honest, they're not really respecting what's coming back at them with the Warriors. They don't think the Warriors can outscore them, and honestly, through 4 quarters, they probably can't without Steph. So I do expect Minnesota to win. They still have not completely opened the floodgates in terms of shooting the ball like we saw against the Lakers in both Minnesota and in Game 1 of the first round series as well in Los Angeles. So I'd expect that to happen sooner rather than later. Why not tonight? I think the Timberwolves have got to think, even though, again, I feel very good about them beating the Warriors with Curry. Just, again, it's an injured Steph Curry. They're not going to be able to beat Minnesota in the condition that Steph's in right now. However, I think the Timberwolves is in the back of their mind as well, though. We don't even want to see Steph again. And also, they don't want to make another trip back out of San Francisco. They win tonight. They win Game 5. They're done. They win in Minnesota, and they move on to take on the winner of the Thunder Nuggets. So I think we're all right here with Minnesota. I like this game a lot more than the first one of the day in New York. I'm going Timberwolves -5.5 here on the road in San Francisco, California, against the Golden State Warriors. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions and best bets here for May 12th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.